Oh boy, what a start of 2022. We just got rid of this emergency situation in Canada when the federal government was imposing a ban on Canadians to access the banking system just because they were, supporting the Freedom Convoy, the truckers rally, who were protesting against the vax mandate. So we just got rid of that. Now we are seeing a full-scale war in the eastern part of the Europe for all the obvious reasons. So I cannot comment about the geopolitical situation over there, but as expected, the Western government has imposed a lot of sanctions against Russia, and one of the proposed sanctions was to ban Russia to use SWIFT banking system. What is SWIFT banking system? How does it work? And how this is going to impact Russia financially? So in this video, I'm going to break it down to you in simple words so that you understand that. Without further ado, let's dive in. If you're new to my channel, my name is Yasin, and I make these videos to educate my audience about macroeconomics, financial education, real estate market in Canada, technical sales, and general investing strategies. So if you are interested in any of those topics, feel free to subscribe, and we are back to our topic. So what is SWIFT? SWIFT stands for Society of Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. So as it sounds to you, it's a network of messaging, financial messaging system that connects different banks with each other through a global network, right? So a lot of these banks, when they make international payments, international payment transaction, it uses SWIFT to do that, to settle the money, to settle the transactions in the other part of the world. So basically, in a layman's term, this is a messaging service, just like WhatsApp. So whenever clients makes an international payment, the bank of that client sends a text message, a secure text message to the network, and the network route that message to the destination of that bank where the payment is supposed to be received. So it's a messaging system to settle international payments, using wire transfer. So that's what SWIFT literally is. And when the Western government imposed these sanctions, and one of those sanctions were actually to ban Russia for accessing SWIFT. Now, just in the context, the SWIFT network, it connects 11,000 financial institutions across the globe. That includes banks, that includes stock brokerages, or any financial hedge fund institutes who would transact money internationally. Okay, so 11,000 institutes. It is operated by banks in 200 countries. So it's a global network. Okay, so who owns SWIFT? SWIFT is owned by a list of stakeholders. Basically, G10 countries. The central banks of G10 countries overlook SWIFT. It is headquartered in Belgium. It's not owned by Belgium, but it's a corporation, have stakeholders across G10 countries, and the central bank of those G10 countries, they overlook the operations of the SWIFT corporation. And the central bank of Belgium itself also have a lot of influence in terms of overseeing it, operating it. It's a European corporation, started in 1990s to help banks to make easy transactions internationally whenever they want to. Of those 11,000 international financial institutes, around 300 of them are Russian banking institutes. Okay, and to put things into perspective, this is more than half of the Russian's financial system. So if you ban Russia from accessing SWIFT, that is going to be a massive financial impact, for the time being on the banking system in the Russia. Okay, which means more than half of the banks will not be able to receive or make international payments through SWIFT network. If this ban is imposed, what's going to happen? Well, as we talked about, the Russian banks will not be able to receive or make financial international payments through using SWIFT, but it's not going to impact the payment part of the process. It is going to impact the goods and services that are being exported out of Russia to European countries. That includes oil, that includes gas, minerals, metals, whatever Russia exports to Europe. That trade itself is going to be impacted, and a lot of European banks have investment into Russia, which will not be able to recover that, or they will not be able to receive payments going forward if Russia is banned using SWIFT. So it's not going to impact Russia alone. It is going to impact a lot of European countries and corporations and businesses and some individuals as well who have business interest in Russia or investment back in Russia, that will also be impacted. And when we look at it, this is going to have a collateral damage across the border. Not only Russia, but also a lot of European countries will also be impacted. And the other potential result of this ban is going to push Russia to start building something different, because SWIFT is not the only way to make international payments. It's one of the easier and simpler way to do that. But if they are pushed to the corner and not allowed to use SWIFT, they will definitely go start building something else, maybe with China, maybe with India, who knows. And if that happens, it's going to be a blow to the US financial dominance in the East. So I don't think this is going to be a smart move, but time will tell. That's all from me today on this topic. If you like it, give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next week video. Take care.